I sometimes find it funny that people seem to think that they know everything. In reality, we know very little. In fact, I would even say that we know close to nothing, and the things that we do know are based on the best evidence we currently have. Scientists, historians, and archaeologists are constantly discovering new information about the history of life on Earth, and some discoveries totally change the picture. In today's video, we're talking about 10 archaeological finds that scientists still can't explain. Can you? Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to The Supreme, and click the notification bell for more lit content. Let's get rolling. The boxed alien. Was a strange robot-alien hybrid really found in a box? The story goes that in 1948, an unidentified flying object was shot down by the U.S. Air Force, leading it to crash land in farmland near Clarksville, Kentucky. The wreckage of the craft was reportedly collected and stored at a nearby airbase and was placed under top-secret protection. It was rumored that 86 boxes were filled with evidence and were shipped out of Clarksville for examination, perhaps at the infamous Area 51. One of those boxes, Box 24, was said to have mysteriously gone missing along the way, only to be found by a civilian who opened the box. But what did he find? You guessed it, robot alien. Obviously, I'm gonna be straight up with you. After some light research, I found that this image is real, but that the alien in the box is fake. It was an art project containing parts from a Barbie doll. That being said, a lot of weird so-called alien artifacts have been reported across the world, especially in the United States during incidents like Roswell. We don't have many artifacts to study, but conspiracy theorists say that is a part of a wider government cover-up. What do you guys think? Is there evidence of aliens waiting to be found on Earth? Let us know. Rongo tablets. Easter Island is a mysterious place. You've probably heard of it for its moai heads, the large tribal sculptures. There are already a lot of questions surrounding how exactly a primitive civilization could have built these vast, heavy structures, and how the population of the island mysteriously collapsed. During 19th century expeditions to Easter Island, artifacts were discovered featuring a never-seen-before language. The writing appeared like a series of glyphs, a bit like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. Historians have dubbed it the Rongo language, and while the name may be fun to say, nobody knows what it means. Easter Island is remote, like very remote. The civilization of the island developed independently without influence from neighboring communities and tribes. This is rare. In most other parts of the world, language can be interpreted and traced using historical clues peppered throughout many countries, but the carved words of the Rongo language are still a mystery. Historians think that solving the meaning of the language might help solve the mystery of what happened to the island's original inhabitants. Giant finger. Okay, listen, I want to be straight up. I don't know how real this is, but a lot of people think that this archaeological discovery is evidence that giants once walked planet Earth. A 15-inch long human finger was allegedly found in Egypt in 1988. Researcher Gregor Spory was said to have visited a private collection at a Cairo museum and took this photograph of what he saw. If this image is real and came from a real humanoid, then proportionally, the person in question would need to be at least 16 feet tall. So, does this prove giants were real and lived in Egypt? Well, no. This photograph isn't exactly a credible source. It could easily have been faked. However, other alleged evidence of a giant race has been found in Peru in the form of a giant fossilized footprint. There have been many purported giant skeletons, although none have been verified by scientists. If giants were proven to have existed, it would change everything we know about the history of life on Earth. However, I'm not sure this big finger is any kind of real proof. Tomb of the Red Queen. In 1994, an ancient tomb dating back to approximately 600 AD was discovered in Mexico by archaeologist Armando Gonzalez Cruz. The tomb is located among the ruins of the ancient Mayan city of Palenque and was intricately designed as well as filled with great treasures including a burial mask and diadem. Archaeologists were surprised to find the tomb was built for a woman, as it seemed the Mayans only honored men in this way, while scientists were able to determine the woman was approximately 60 years old when she died, and she did have a diet that largely consisted of red meat. They have no idea who she was. She was clearly important, but just exactly what her significance was is still unknown. For now, she is simply called the Red Queen. I bend the knee to the Red Queen. Kat Shabib. There is a mysterious 93-mile-long wall in Jordan, and nobody knows what it's for. A large stone wall was discovered in 1946 and has been tentatively dated back to before the Roman era, making it thousands of years old. The wall would have been over 3 feet high and around 1.6 feet wide, and is one of the longest man-made structures to have ever been made. This is especially amazing because it was created at a time when building things was a much more difficult task. If an early civilization went through all the effort of building a wall, they must have been trying to protect something important or keep out something scary. To this day, historians and scientists alike have no idea what the wall was built for. I'm honestly not sure. I want to find out. Stonehenge. It wouldn't be right to talk about archaeological finds that scientists can't explain without mentioning one of the biggest archaeological mysteries of all time, Stonehenge. What we know is that several thousands of years ago, an ancient civilization that we don't know much about decided that it was of back-breaking importance to raise a giant circle of stones in the English countryside. Evidence suggests that building began in 3100 BCE and continued over 1,000 years to 1600 BCE. There are no written clues as to what the arrangement of giant boulders means, so historians have been left to guess. Some people believe that the stones were raised by the mythical wizard Merlin. Others say that Stonehenge was designed as an alien landing pad or a space observatory. Some think it was built for human sacrifice, while others believe that it was a giant battery. Recently, it was reported that huge slabs of rock were carried 106 miles from their origin by a race of super cows that humans used for transport. Yeah, super cows. Now that's blown my mind. Shagir Idol. If I was the person who made this archaeological discovery, I would have had nightmares for months. At least, it was actually gold prospectors who came across this incredible find, which is kinda cool. In 1894, gold diggers pulled up a mammoth 16-foot statue from a peat bog in Yekaterinburg, Russia. The statue turned out to be 11,000 years old, which is incredible. The wood was preserved by the cool temperature, low oxygen conditions of the bog. The age of the statue shocked historians and scientists who didn't believe that Stone Age humans could have made something so imaginative. The statue, named the Shagir Idol, is pretty spooky to look at and features carved artwork. The leading theory is that the statue was designed as a kind of keep-out warning sign to scare people away. Who the ancient Siberians were trying to intimidate, we don't know. How they made such a massive and intricate structure in a primitive time is also a mystery. Nazca Lines. In Peru, vast geometric lines and shapes were spotted by aircraft in the 1920s and 30s. The Nazca Lines are located on coastal plains about 250 miles south of Lima. It's thought that the designs were etched into the sand over 2,000 years ago by a pre-Inca group called the Nazca. The designs depict animals, both real and presumably mythical, humanoids, and general shapes. There's even one design that kind of looks like an astronaut. The thing that has got people kind of freaked out by the Nazca Lines is that they seem to have been designed to be viewed by air. But of course, nobody could fly for nearly 2,000 years after the etchings were made. Why would an ancient culture go through the effort of making 100-foot-long patterns in the sand if they couldn't fly? Well, some people think they were trying to communicate with aliens who had previously visited. And I'm a bit of a skeptic, but this makes more sense than primitive humans going through massive effort to create big-scale art that they can't appreciate from the land. One American historian, Paul Kosok, believes that the designs have an astronomical and calendrical purpose. There certainly are a lot of theories circulating, but for now, nobody knows why the Nazca Lines are there and what they really mean. The Salzburg Cube. What is that? Good question. Short answer? Nobody knows. Now, who wants to hear the long answer? You? Okay. This strange-looking cuboid mass was unearthed from deep in the ground in Wolfsegg am Haarschruck in Austria in 1885. The mystery object weighs just under 2 pounds. The reason people were so interested in the egg is because it looks like a piece of human iron that has been worked with a human tool, but it was found under a 20-million-year-old coral. So how did it get there? A lot of people were claiming that this was an out-of-place artifact and evidence that the human timeline as we know it is incorrect. Some scientists also suggested it could be a meteor, but that was ruled out by analysis. There have been a lot of rumors about the Seisberg Cube, including that it once mysteriously disappeared from a museum in 1910. That isn't true. It's currently at a museum in Austria. Göbekli Tepe, a mind-blowing archaeological discovery, was made in 1994 in a rural region of Turkey that has made scientists question their timeline for human development. An ancient temple was found as if deliberately buried in sand, which is weird enough. But things got even weirder. The temple has been carbon dated back to 10,000 BCE, 12,000 years ago. Humans were thought to be primitive hunter-gatherers. We didn't yet wield tools, and the wheel wouldn't be invented for thousands of years. So how could an intricate temple with over 200 stone pillars have been built? And who buried it in the sand on purpose? This is a very unsettling mystery that suggests that what we know about early humans is wrong. Some people believe that there was a race of superhumans that predated Homo sapiens, and others believe that aliens helped build big ancient structures on Earth like the Göbekli Tepe and the Egyptian pyramids. Perhaps the answers are coming. So far, just 5% of the temple site has been excavated. The question is, are we prepared to know the truth? That was 10 archaeological finds scientists still can't explain. What did you think about this video? Can you explain any of these discoveries? Let me know in the comment section. We always love hearing from you.